Welcome to the Reiki Healing Hope Community, a place to heal, relax, be yourself, and be surrounded by those who want to see you bloom/blossom. I'm Jessica, Reiki Master and Intuitive, and today we have a special healing session on the third eye. So this is going to be kind of like a little sneak peek to the unlocking energetic gifts, unlocking psychic gifts. So we're going to do an hour-long card pull and energy activation session. So just to explain what that means, we're going to utilize the cards to help us understand how to unlock these psychic gifts, as well as going in and doing an energy activation session in which we go in and align the frequency to make sure that these things are happening and that we are aligned and that there's no blockages or no limitations from our gifts. We all have gifts. The gifts just differ, and so we can utilize that in whatever journey we have, whether we go on to be healers or we go on to be something else. You can utilize those, and it's super duper just magical to utilize what you're good at in your everyday life. It's how you start to have those interesting synchronicities and just an alignment and an understanding and a balance of how to do things. And you're like, I don't even know, like, how the heck did I make that happen? That's your gift. So we gonna connect you and we gonna get you on the right path. So let's go ahead and get started. And I feel so warm and grateful and have so much gratitude to start off each one of our sessions with a prayer. It is a multi-faith prayer. It is to root us down. It is to validate all the wisdom traditions that come and share this space. For as much as you participate or as little as you participate, to be validated, to know that we are all respectful of what you believe, and we enjoy sharing this communal experience together as we believe together as a unit, but believe in different ways, and that's okay. So because it matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay, just have to double check. Can I touch you? Okay, just touch your face. Say a little prayer. Dear Mother, Father God, and all for the highest good, please connect us to the Reiki Masters, the Ascended Masters, Master Jesus, Master Buddha, Master Katumi, Oshun, Mawu, Waitar, and all the Taras. Please connect us to our ancestors, spirit guides, spirit animals, and our lineage, and all for our highest vibrational good only, rooting us down in our individual healing path, connecting us and uplifting each other as a community as we go forth into the third eye, unlocking our psychic, spiritual, energetic gifts so that we may be able to go forward and do only the greatest good in our lives and the lives of others. And I say all of this in the name of I Am. Ashe. 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 So you can definitely work with your spirit guides, your archangels, your lineage, your ancestors. As you go forward unlocking these gifts, a lot of times your blood family, they grow with gifts together because souls incarnate together. So there might be situations in which you and your siblings share a certain gift. Like, for example, I am an intuitive, I am an energy healer, but I know that my gift is I have a really good way with words. I've been doing and teaching meditation for 15 years, and with that comes with an understanding of how to activate energy within other people through my words, and learning yoga and learning Reiki and learning all of these other things just kind of gives me another tool in my tool belt. But even if I wasn't doing these things, I still know that I'm good with how I say things in order to to initiate a healing response in people. And that could also be because my Mercury is in Cancer. So I speak from a place of passion. You speak from a place of passion. It either makes people feel some type of way. It makes you, and I choose to speak from a place of healing and motivation and love, no matter what's going on, because I believe that we all need that. I know I definitely need that in the healing journey. And so unlocking those gifts and using those certain things becomes really important, and to the point I was trying to make, where it comes out in your family. For example, in my family, I've heard stories even of my grandmother. My mom was born in Korea. She came to the US when she was a little girl. She came by herself. She's half American, half Korean, half African American, and half Korean. And so to kind of put that in perspective, understanding colorism. So if you don't know what that word means, you can go ahead and look it up. But the colorism that she faced in Korea, and then of course the colorism that she would come to the United States in faith. So in Korea, she was not Korean enough, and then she gets to the US and she's not black enough. And so to all of that, she had this disconnect. And so we had a disconnect with our Korean relatives. But from the stories she would tell of her grandmother and her experience around her grandmother was very connected. Her grandmother had a lot of gifts, and she didn't really understand that, and she kind of became very sucked in with religion. When she came to the US, her father was a Jehovah's Witness, so it got a little culty. And so in what she didn't understand, she labeled as negative or bad, whereas it's not that simple. Let me continue to work on you. Y'all know I started talking and then I'm just like, but I'm gonna work on you at the same time. Just slowly unlocking those gifts and looking at the third eye. Just getting you ready for our session later. But anyway, back to what I was saying. She didn't really understand it. And if you don't have teachers, or you yourself don't have like an open enough mind to understand what's going on, it creates an environment of confusion, which then creates fear. So being raised Jehovah's Witness, they're one of those groups who are like, if you're not a Jehovah's Witness, you're bad. Even if you're another Christian, you're bad. You have to be this specific sect that was invented 100 years ago. It's just funny to think about that a recently invented sect of Christianity can be like, all these other ones are bad when they've existed hundreds to thousands of years before. But whatever, I digress. Because I know there's not going to be any Jehovah's Witnesses watching this. So, to get back into that, basically what I'm saying, she didn't know, or she didn't understand, and because no one explained what was going on, she took it as negative and she took it as fear. And then you start building things up as like, this is bad, this is evil or something. And no, not at all. There's a difference. Not understanding the esoteric and the veil can be scary, but it's not an evil thing. It's just understanding within your wisdom traditions, your faith tradition, or just in your own ability of understanding. Dabbling with dark energy, that's bad. That's something you don't want to do. But the veil itself is something that we all have, and I think we've allowed religion to explain it instead of actively unfolding it for ourselves. So what it means for ourselves, we're too afraid. We want someone to think for us. But you got to think about it. Like, think of all these nuns, ascetic monks, all of these people who have provided all of this religious literature over time. And guess what? Some of them are some of the most forward-thinking people, because they've had all this time in isolation to sit and think about these big things. And it's just remarkable that those most devoted to the universe, God, source, are those who actually start to challenge that understanding, because they're given the space to think outside of what they're being told to think. And a lot of the evolutionary things that happen in faith, the transformational things, is because there are certain people who think outside of the box and start to re-understand things in a term of modern times that really help others. Like, I really like the book by the Archbishop Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Lama called The Book of Forgiveness, where they talked about being able to forgive in order to heal. And these are two very big religious leaders, as well as they have gone through their own traumas, with the Dalai Lama being exiled for a very long time and still having a light spirit and a laughter within him, as well as the Archbishop having apartheid in South Africa, going through reconciliation and still even dealing with the impact of that long history of racism to this day. And what I really appreciated about the Archbishop is that his daughter is queer. She is married to a woman, and he at a time married same-sex couples. When being in a religious environment, you can so easily just be like, I feel something different, especially a person of higher up. I think something different, but I'm going to be quiet. He's like, nah. He actually said something really interesting where he said, I don't want to serve a God. I'm paraphrasing this, but I don't want to serve a God that has hatred towards others. I don't want to serve a God that is not compassionate, or is not, that allows the hatred of other people. So this understanding of homophobia, transphobia, and any of these other marginalized things, it's not godly. And religion for a long time has used these certain things to wage war, to oppress women, to do a lot of these marginalizing things. And even a person who has dedicated their life to in a religious way can still open and illuminate. Into that I say, I know, long-winded to say, that these psychic gifts are beautiful, beautiful gifts that God gives to you, that you get to open up and you get to be open to, and you can work through in your own way. They're not here for you to keep your eyes closed. They're here to open your eyes and to help, because the only reason why you should be using these is to bring up the energetic frequency of others through the world, through your purpose. That is the only reason why we are here, to live out our purpose and to help others. And we help others by helping ourselves. Some people, unfortunately, fall off along the way, maybe taking entire lifetimes. But at the end of the day, we're here to heal. We're here to heal. We're here to heal. Okay. So, working through that here. I want you all to think for yourselves. You don't even have to take everything I say as, she knows everything. You might feel like there's something that I say that you don't necessarily agree with, and we've had that before. That is a good thing. We should not all be agreeing on the same thing all the time. I appreciate being a facilitator of the space, and if you want to say, I've had people say, no, you are like a guru. Okay, but I'm one that strongly believes in not abusing power. That's not a label I would give myself, and that's not a label that I would bestow upon someone else that I connect with and I am learning. I think it's more of like being a teacher, but also having that caveat that I'm always going to be a student. I'm always learning from you all, and I'm always learning around me too. So be mindful of who you give your power away. Even the understanding of a guru can happen in religious traditions in which you're giving all this energy to your priest, your reverend, your religious leader. when you need to not do that. This person is here to help facilitate a community experience. They're not here to interpret your individual experience. So you have to be proactive at that. And don't be afraid of your divine connection with God. God works through people in mysterious ways. And I've said this since starting this journey with you all. When I first started having these energetic experiences, healing experience, tarot readers, all this stuff, these people were surprisingly Christian, which threw me off because I had been taught that, you cannot be a person of faith and be connected to energetic gifts. It just was separate. But these people taught me to root down in my faith first. That didn't require me to be religious. And on top of that, and all of these, wisdom traditions and these stories, these people who can do these miraculous things are people that nowadays would be seen as having special gifts. Why is it okay for them back then to have those special gifts, but today apparently you can't connect? So I'm saying all that to say is, you gotta lead your own journey, you gotta walk your own path, and you gotta be open to that. So this was kind of a session today just to kind of open you up to accept the gifts that you have and to know that it is a gift that God, the universe, source, has given you. So be grateful and be open and be connected. Also, you don't need to have superpowers. You don't need to be super psychic. You don't need to have things that are above and beyond. There's some people who have gifts that are very, very, very present in their lives. And then there's others who have just kind of like a slight balance. So don't feel like you have to force yourself into being this, super open, super connected, super everything. Just work with where you're at, because your gift at the level it's at, when you fine tune it, is perfect for you. It's what we need as we go forth in our path to get those gifts from you. God made no mistakes. Okay, so let's go ahead and clear you out. I'm gonna seal you with the sign of the infinity, working really with that third eye. I'm gonna actually close you up with this smoky quartz and tell you to keep an eye out. That card pull and activation session is gonna be an hour long. It's right around the corner, so if no one has said it to you, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Don't touch your face, wash your hands, and take care of yourself. And I love you.